They tell you that time is a gift, but in this shop, time is a predator. It's a silent thief that steals the colour from your hair and the warmth from your skin. My name is Elias. I've spent 50 years repairing the pulse of this town. Every watch, every grandfather clock, every pocket timer. They all pass through these hands. I thought I knew every tick. I thought I knew every gear. Until the night the rain didn't stop and the stranger stepped out of the fog. He didn't have a face, just a hood and a presence that made the candles flicker and die. He placed it there, a silver pocket watch etched with symbols that looked like screaming mouths. He didn't ask for a price. He didn't ask for a date. He just pointed at the watch and vanished back into the mist. When I picked it up, it was freezing. So cold it felt like it was burning my palm. And the sound, it wasn't a tick-tock. It was a rhythmic, organic thumping, like a heart that was beating in reverse. I couldn't look away. The needles were moving counterclockwise, dragging the world with them. I looked at the clock on my wall. It was 3 a.m. I looked at the silver watch. It said 2:59, then 2:58. I heard a sound from the street, a bicycle falling over. I ran to the window. The paper boy was gone. His bike was still spinning on the pavement. His bag of newspapers was scattered in the wind. But the boy had been erased. The watch had reached a mark, and a life had simply ceased to be. I tried to hide it. I locked it in a lead box. I buried it in the cellar. But every morning I would wake up and find it sitting on my workbench, humming that low, vibrating tune. The town began to change. People didn't notice at first. A neighbour gone here, a shopkeeper gone there. The scenery was thinning out, like an old painting where the oil is flaking off. I was the only one who remembered them. I was the keeper of the ghosts. Every click of that silver needle was a funeral for a person who no longer existed. Then the mirror told me the final truth. I wasn't just watching the end. I was the fuel. My skin was becoming like parchment. My eyes were sinking into my skull. The watch was drinking my years to keep its gears turning. I realized that the stranger hadn't brought me a repair job. He had brought me my own destiny. I was a prisoner of a circle that never ends. I used my finest tools to pry open the inner chamber. I expected to see springs and rubies. Instead, I saw a lock of my own hair and my own initials carved into the mainspring with a shaky, desperate hand. I understood then. In the future, I would become so obsessed with stopping time that I would create this monster. And then I would send it back to myself, a snake eating its own tail. I was the creator of my own nightmare. I had to get rid of the influence. I realized you can't fight time with a hammer. You have to fight it with a choice. I sat down at the bench. My eyes were failing, but my hands remembered the way. I didn't try to stop the watch. I tried to change its direction. I spent days in the dark, crafting a single gear made of glass and hope. A gear that would shatter if it ever tried to move backward again. I forced it in. The watch screamed, a sound of grinding metal and lost voices. I felt a surge of energy, a flash of white light. And then the weight was gone. The watch is gone. The silver has turned to dust on my counter. I am an old man now, a very old man. The people who vanished, they didn't come back. Their spots in the world are still empty, but the sun is warm on my face, and the clock on the wall, it's moving forward. 1 second, then another. It's a beautiful sound, the sound of a life that is finally allowed to end. Time, at last, has forgiven me.